Lesson: Express terms and implied terms. Express terms and implied terms are fundamental components of contract law that significantly influence the interpretation and enforcement of contracts. Understanding these concepts is crucial for professionals seeking to specialize in contract law, as it equips them with the knowledge to draft robust agreements and effectively navigate disputes. Express terms are those specifically stated by the parties involved, either orally or in writing, and constitute a primary element of any contract. Conversely, implied terms are not explicitly stated but are inferred by the courts or assumed to exist based on the nature of the agreement, the conduct of the parties, or statutory provisions. Each type of term plays a vital role in shaping the contractual obligations and rights of the parties involved. Express terms are the core of any contract, as they delineate the specific commitments made by the parties. These terms can encompass a wide range of stipulations, from payment obligations and delivery schedules to quality standards and dispute resolution mechanisms. To ensure clarity and avoid disputes, it is paramount to articulate express terms with precision. Practitioners should employ clear and unambiguous language, ensuring that each party's rights and obligations are explicitly recorded. This practice is particularly crucial in complex agreements involving multiple parties or significant financial stakes. For instance, in a supply contract, express terms regarding delivery timelines, product specifications, and payment conditions can prevent misunderstandings and provide a clear framework for performance evaluation. One practical tool for drafting express terms is the use of checklists tailored to the specific type of contract. These checklists ensure that all necessary elements are included and help identify potential areas of ambiguity or conflict. By systematically addressing each component, practitioners can create comprehensive and precise contracts that minimize the risk of disputes. Another effective strategy is the incorporation of standard form contracts, which are pre-drafted templates that include commonly used express terms. These templates can be customized to fit the specific needs of the parties, providing a balance between efficiency and specificity. Implied terms, although not explicitly stated, are integral to ensuring that contracts function effectively and equitably. Courts often imply terms to give business efficacy to a contract or to reflect the presumed intention of the parties. For example, in the landmark case of the Moorcock, the court implied a term that the dock owner would take reasonable care to ensure the safety of a vessel using the dock, even though no such term was explicitly stated. Implied terms can also arise from customary practices in a particular industry or trade, ensuring that contracts align with established norms and expectations. A key framework for understanding implied terms is the business efficacy test, which asks whether the contract would lack commercial sense without the implied term. Another tool is the officious bystander test, which considers whether an impartial observer would assume the term to be so obvious that it goes without saying. These frameworks provide practitioners with a structured approach to identifying and justifying implied terms in various contractual contexts. Statutory implied terms are another critical aspect, as certain statutes impose terms into contracts regardless of the parties' intentions. For instance, the Sale of Goods Act 1979 in the United Kingdom implies terms regarding the quality and fitness of goods sold. These statutory terms provide a baseline level of protection for parties, particularly consumers, and override express terms that attempt to exclude or limit such protections. Professionals must be aware of relevant statutory provisions and ensure that their contracts comply with these legal requirements to avoid unenforceability or liability. In practice, the interaction between express and implied terms can present challenges, particularly when they appear to conflict. In such cases, express terms typically take precedence as they reflect the explicit intentions of the parties. However, courts strive to harmonize express and implied terms to uphold the contract's overall purpose and commercial viability. This approach underscores the importance of drafting express terms with foresight, anticipating potential areas where implied terms may be invoked, and addressing them proactively. Case studies offer valuable insights into the application of express and implied terms in real-world scenarios. In Marks & Spencer PLC v. BNP Paribas Securities Services Trust Company Limited, the UK Supreme Court clarified the principles governing the implication of terms in contracts. The court emphasized that implied terms must not contradict express terms and should only be inferred when necessary to achieve the contract's business efficacy. This case illustrates the balance that courts must strike between respecting the parties' express intentions and ensuring the contract functions effectively. Another illustrative example is the case of Lestrange v. F. Graucob Ltd., where the court upheld a contract despite the buyer's failure to read an exclusion clause in the small print. This decision underscores the importance of clearly communicating express terms and ensuring that parties are aware of significant clauses, particularly those that limit liability or impose onerous obligations. It also highlights the court's reluctance to imply terms that would undermine clearly stated express terms. Statistics further underscore the significance of express and implied terms in contract disputes. A study by the International Association for Contract and Commercial Management found that unclear or incomplete terms are among the top causes of contractual disputes, accounting for approximately 30% of all contract-related issues. This finding reinforces the need for meticulous drafting and a thorough understanding of both express and implied terms to mitigate the risk of disputes and enhance contractual certainty. In summary, express and implied terms are fundamental to the structure and enforceability of contracts. Express terms, articulated with precision and clarity, form the bedrock of contractual obligations, while implied terms ensure that agreements are fair, functional, and aligned with industry norms. Professionals can leverage tools such as checklists, standard form contracts, and established frameworks like the business efficacy and officious bystander tests to draft and interpret contracts effectively. By understanding the interplay between express and implied terms and remaining vigilant to statutory requirements, practitioners can enhance their proficiency in contract law, reduce the likelihood of disputes, and safeguard the interests of their clients.